Hi guys, you are welcome to my channel. This is me again, your presenter and your host, Novelist Yusuf. One of the biggest fears is which country is going to be next. We're talking on the military coup saga that is happening now all over the continent. Which country is going to be next? Every country is scared. They are not afraid in the negative aspect. They are not kind of afraid that they might be next. They are just afraid that the game that is being played may be linking to somewhere that is not that favorable. When you look very well into African history, we've never had a peaceful transition of power, be it through the monarchy system or be it through the political system. Even through our normal presidential elections, we've witnessed that in Nigeria, we've witnessed that in Cameroon, we've witnessed that in Gabon, we've witnessed that all over Africa. In South Africa, there'll be tens of thousands, probably millions of people whooping the streets just because of a simple election. How come, just for a sudden, this troublesome continent has suddenly turned into saints overnight, like a peaceful military coup? If an icon like Thomas Sankara has to do at least what some of us were calling back then, or what we are still calling now, a peaceful military coup, but there was immense blood being shed, what more of today? That there will be a coup without any soul being lost. Hey, don't misinterpret me. I am not saying or advocating that the best military coup is when people lost their lives. That's not good. I am just trying to be analytical here and trying to draw your mind into something bigger, into the bigger frame, for you to look beyond your questions and to make you understand that this is a well-orchestrated plan. The question that still remains, how come, just for a sudden, Africa, which used to be hungry and thirsty for violence and the rest, whenever transition of power is involved, they are now into peaceful coup, and they give names to it such as bloodless coup in Africa? I think this doesn't make sense. This statement, this term doesn't make sense. Right now in the continent is on alert, and the public is just waiting for the next coup and the next country that will be next, because we don't know. We have witnessed some minor ban in Cameroon. For instance, in the southwest region of Cameroon, there's a popular newspaper that got suspended. Why? Because they made it appear in one of their newspaper that Cameroon may be next. It didn't sync well with the state, so they got suspended. Either ways, the entire continent is kind of on alarm right now as to which country is going to be next. Now let's go back into a bit of history. Some people, they ask themselves that why is it that this military coup is mainly happening in French African countries where the French regime has been there. Kind of look at the way the French have been dealing with their colonies in Africa. When you look at the way French is behaving with the French speaking African countries, it is way too much for Africans to bear, and it is becoming way too much for the leaders to bear. Questions are still asked as to what was the main purpose of the African-Russian summit. What were discussed before, within, and after the African-Russian summit. The next aspect is the BRICS summit in South Africa. What are the plans? And what are the African leaders' plans? I think that for the first time in history, Africa is gradually reviving. Yes, we are revolving without using violence. We have come to notice that wars have never solved matters. Much fire has never quenched flames. If we keep maintaining the same approach to obtaining our freedom, if we keep picking guns, entering the streets, solutions will never come. And African leaders are beginning to see that. Our leaders are beginning to notice that. And it is not syncing well with the West, because we are actually doing the right thing for the first time in history. That's why you see them reacting the way they are doing. When the thing occurred in Niger, ECOWAS were saying they will send their military troops there. Some countries, they were revolting. This is a military coup here. If it is not part of plan, why some will be talking against and some will be talking for? I believe there's an impression they don't want us to grasp. And those who are intelligent and smart enough, they'll be able to follow along. They'll answer the unasked questions. What happened in Niger now? Don't be surprised to hear that all the countries that had the military coup, they'll cancel whatsoever contract they have signed with France. They may even go to the level of calling France to book. It's a change of regime here. The earlier us Africans, we rally and we support this notion peacefully, the better. Wars have never been the solution. Fightings have never been the solution. Destroying our properties, destroying our homes has never been the solution. Doing it the peaceful way, as they have been doing, through those who are capable, I think is the main solution.